Today we entered a new month, the month of Tamuz. The Zodiac is Cancer. In fact, the truth is Crab. But it is known as Cancer. Now we are going to discuss, as usually, in other lectures we gave about the month, the Zodiac, based on the book of formation, book of creation, Sefer Yisirah, relates to Abraham. And as we know, this is a book in which we are told how each month was created, with a letter, the character, the tribe, each month has its tribe. So all of this we are going to discuss now, and it gives us really a little of the meaning, Kabbalistic meaning of this month, the important month as we see just now. So the book of formation, as we said, related to Abraham, everything is really based on Hebrew letters, because Hebrew letters were the basis of creation. As I brought in a lot of my books about the Hebrew language, Hebrew letters mainly, and this you can see in my site, Glazerson.com, GlazersonBooks.com. Definitely you can see my books in other places, Amazon and so on. So today we are going to discuss mainly on the subject of the Zodiac. This is also a book I did about the Zodiac, and as we said, you can get it in my site, Glazerson.com, Amazon, other places. So what we have about this month, Tamuz and the Zodiac Cancer. So astrological sign of this month of Tamuz is Cancer, so in bracket is really Crab. And the letter that forms it is the letter Chet. Now the letter Chet in Hebrew, the eighth letter, has meaning, like every letter in Hebrew has meaning, not like English. Yeah, every letter has a meaning. Chet means really chiyut, life. Yeah, life. This is the eighth letter in the alphabet. To do with number 8, also number 8 to do with the Neshama. The Neshama is letters Shmone, 8, but really, Neshama, the soul, is the source of life. So Chet represents really life in a positive way. In a negative, Chet is sin, Chataim, sin, Chatano. I mean. So in a negative way, this month, as you will see yourself, has potential to sin more than others. We'll see later why. But this is the negative side of it, your misuse of life. What is sin? Sin when you are misusing, God gave you life, gave you everything, means to live, to be fruitful, to have children, everything, and you are misusing it. This is a sin. The terrible sin is misusing the power which God gave to people to build, to create, and they are destroying. This is exactly the great severity of the sin of homosexualism and all these things. You are misusing. So this is Chet, in negative way, Chataim. And we see this is why this month at Tamuz, a lot of troubles. We have the 17th of Tamuz fasting, but a lot of troubles coming in this month. Definitely together with Av, with Leo, next month. Both of them really are known to be very, very sad months for Jewish people, full of destruction, first temple, second temple, Beitar, then even the First World War, this explosion for Spain, the explosion for York in England. There is a book really written by a French historian. His book is about the troubles of Tisha B'Av to Jews, and all troubles really around this time. He brings more than 100, and he said himself, for me it's clear proof there is a God. How can it be that Jews suffer on this day this month even. So many troubles. So definitely there is a reason for it, as we see just now. So we saw the letter of this month, Chet. By the way, it's mentioned already very while mentioning the second month, which is Liu, Av. This month is the letter Tet. So both of those letters, Chet and Tet, represent a sin, exactly. Because the more severe sins of Jews in the desert, which caused all these troubles up till today, are the sin of the golden calf, which was on the 17th of this month, and the sin of the spies, which was next month, when they brought the report. So altogether, these two sins, golden calf and the spies, which brought definitely bad report and wrong one on Israel, are the root, the key to many, many of our disaster, first temple, second temples, and all the other troubles that you said is really a result of this sin. We are paying every time a little bit for it. So this is these 2 months. So this is really what we saw, the letter Chet and the letter of Av. It is also interesting to point out that the Gematria, numerical value of the Zodiac of this month, which is Sartan, Cancer, and next one, Aryeh, Leo, Lion. If you put together these 2 words, Sartan, Aryeh, come to 541, which is the numerical value of Israel. So very likely it shows that these 2 months, these 2 zodiacs, have a great part in the being of Israel, essence of Israel. So, as we said, very important. Now you can see the importance of it also in the tribes related to this month. So the tribes which are associated with the month of Tamuz is Reuven, we said, and the month Av is Shimon, Reuven and Shimon, interesting. Also the attribute of Av is hearing, Shmiah, like Shimon. Shimon called because Shama. His mother said, God listened to my prayers. So basically these are the 2 tribes. Now the attributes of these months are this month's sight, Reya, fits with Reuven, and next month Shmiah, hearing. No doubt that these 2 attributes are the strongest in man's life. Sight and hearing. Sight can bring people to a very high level, and sight can bring people down to earth. And it's something hearing. You hear Torah, fine, if you hear Lashon Hara, slaughter, so the most severe. So amazing, these are the 2 attributes of this month. And this is why this month is so important. You need to be careful because those things are really the opening for sin. Looking, seeing things which you should not see. Yeah, unfortunately we see today, and hearing things which you should not hear. It is so interesting that the letters, as in Hebrew, Reish, the letter Reish, Reya, to do with sight, also to do with poverty. It is so interesting to point out that in Judaism, according to Ari, the Rabbi Zechluria, the name of God, Adnut, Aleph, Dalet, Nun, Yud, which each letter has 3 letters. Aleph is Aleph, Lamed, Pei. Dalet is Dalet, Lamed, Taf. And Nun, Nun, Vav, Nun. there are 12 letters in the name of God. The same thing really also Yud Ke Vav Ke, the 4 letters of God, which can have different combinations, 12 combinations, also related to months. But what is so interesting about the name of God Adnut? So if you take the first letter Aleph, you have 3 letters, Aleph, Lamed, Pe. This is a Hebrew, not English. English you say A, B, but in Hebrew every letter means something. So Aleph, Lamed, Pe. So Aleph is the first month, Eris, Nisan, Lamed, Iyar, Taurus, and Pe, Sivan. Then this Aleph, then you are going to Daled, Adnut, yeah, Daled. Daled is this month, and the next month, right, is Lamed. These 2 letters means in Hebrew Pur, Dal. Pur. So that means these 2 months have the letter Dal, Pur. They are very, very poor months for Jewish history. Yeah. But we saw what happened during this time. Now the abbreviation of the 2 attributes, sight in Hebrew, Re'iyah, and Shin, Shmiya, Rash. Rash in Hebrew also is poor. When we pray before Shoshone Slichas, we said, Dalim ve'Rashim, we are poor. And there are 2 expressions, Dalim ve'Rashim. Like Dal ve'Rash, exactly these 2 letters. It means that these 2 letters represent this month that if we don't behave properly, can bring us to be poor, very poor. Dal and Rash. So what really happened in this month, which was, one can say, the most severe sin, which brought to destructions and many other troubles, is the spies. Yeah, the spies were sent by Moses to look to Israel, and they had to see the good side, but unfortunately they did not bring the good report, the opposite, and our Rabbi said that because they had interest to be in the desert, either because it was easy life, but you have to go to Israel to work, better to be in the desert, we have manna, we have water from the well, and we can learn all the time, beautiful. Yeah, but once God said you have to go to Israel to build, to do, they should do it. But they had interest, and therefore they saw things in the wrong way. Our rabbis tell us, for example, there were a lot of funerals that they saw in the land, and this really God did good for them. He wanted that people would be in funerals and not seeing strangers around. But they said, no, Israel, a place you get heart attack every day. You see how many people are dying there. No, this is exactly why they did not look on the thing properly, but because of interest. So this says the Vilna Gaon commentary on the Book of Formation. He said, because this month, which was a month that the spies went, most of the time they went on this month. They left on the 29th of Sivan. So in fact they start working the beginning of Tamuz, 30 days, most of the time, 40 days altogether, but 30 days was in Tamuz, so they were under the control of sight. No, very, very sensible. The time of sight brought them to see things in the wrong way. Yeah, interesting. Then, carrying on 10 days in the month of Av, the attribute of the month of Av is hearing, as we mentioned. Yeah, and hearing at that time, very sensitive. So, when Jews heard the bad report about Israel, they cried terribly. So God said, you are crying now for nothing. You will cry over Israel for something. Destruction after destruction, pogrom after pogrom, expulsion after expulsion on this day. Why? To strengthen Jews' faith in God. Right? This is all the idea. Seeing, as this historian saw more than 100 troubles on this day, brought him to believe in God. So Jews should also realize so many troubles on this day, on this one. Even the expulsion of Gush Katif in Israel now had to be in the 9th of Av, because the fact is not nice, so making the 10th of Av. But basically it had to be in the 9th of Av, expulsion of Gush Katif in Israel, frightening. So this is the time to strengthen our faith in God, Because in the merit of faith, our rabbis tell us, Jews came out of Egypt. In the merit of faith, they will be redeemed in the last exile from Edom. So faith is very important to strengthen during this time.